crisis to supply chain problems to the Democrats' seemingly endless mixed messaging on masks. Let's debate the issues our fine correspondents have been covering for us tonight with the Bream team panel. Democratic strategist Kevin Walling and Fox News political analyst Gianno Caldwell. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hey, Shannon, good to be with you.
Okay, let's start with crime. I want to put up some stats on Portland, Los Angeles, and Austin. This shows the major increases in homicides, shootings, all kinds of things going on. Gianno, I know this is something near and dear to your heart, and you've talked about what's going on in Chicago. They're one of the places, too, that is potentially facing the loss of first responders over vaccine mandates, and it's not good timing. It's been another violent weekend there. What do we do?
I mean, it's horrific, and if you look at the numbers, there's been, in terms of the murders in the city of Chicago, this is the worst it has ever been since 1996, when you know the gangs were fighting over a territory for the drug war during that time. This is insanity. It is worse. You have politicians who support the defund the police movement, and then you also have politicians that support the mandate for the vaccinations in the city of Chicago, where the police union president there said that they could lose up to 50% of their officers. This is not the time to play politics with individuals' lives, especially when you could be vaccinated or you can have natural immunity. Those are questions that people are asking, and we shouldn't put officers off the job, especially during a time like this.
Kevin, I want to get your comment on this, and then we'll go to our next topic.
Yeah, Shannon, I mean, this is one of the main reasons why I supported President Biden in the primary and the general election is he had the support of our police unions back in Delaware. He's always stood with support for police unions and police officers in this country. Democrats passed the American Rescue Plan. Many of those millions of dollars are going to actually fund police departments. In fact, in Maryland, you're seeing Republican Governor Larry Hogan tout some of that money to provide more resources for police. So on a whole, I'm a Democrat that supports police in this country. I know the president does too, because we are at a crisis point in many of our big cities and some of our rural areas as well with these rising crime rates. It's horrifying. Okay,
let's get to the mask mandates. We have had many examples over the last year of, the Speaker of the House, of various mayors and different people who are ordering mask mandates for the rest of us. They don't always follow them to the T, and this weekend it was the President and First Lady video and pictures of them walking around in a restaurant where they were supposed to be masked out, coming out unmasked. This is what Jen Psaki said today when she was pushed on why there seem to be rules for some and not others.
But I don't think we should lose the forest through the trees here, and that our objective here is to get more people vaccinated, make sure that that schools and companies around the country can put in place requirements to save more lives and keep people safer, and not overly focus on moments in time that don't reflect overarching policy.
So, Gianno, if they don't follow the mask mandate, it is a moment in time. I don't know how that works for the rest of us if we try that argument.
No, exactly. And we know that there's been more deaths from COVID than World War I, World War II, Vietnam War, and 9/11 combined. And we have a president who refuses to really sit and take questions from reporters on policies that he creates that impacts all of us. Not to mention that he's not following the policies in which he's already set up. So we see another instance where elite Democrats can make a policy for the rest of us, but do something different. We saw that with Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom. Of course, we're seeing this with Joe Biden and many other Democrats. So shouldn't they follow the same rules that they propose for everybody else? I would argue so, but they're not doing that, which is impacting the poll numbers of Democrats across the country.
Well, and Kevin, people ask the question then, listen, some people think Republican, Democrat, middle, whatever, like walking into a restaurant with your mask on, and then when you sit down, the COVID threat goes away, and then you put the mask back on and walk out. I mean, some people think it's just artificial, but others say, listen, if these leaders really believe that was a life or death thing, they wouldn't be taking their mask off when they've been told to keep it on. I mean, it's a messaging problem for Democrats that they keep getting caught skirting the rules.
Yeah, Shannon, I find it just a little ironic that the same people that mock relentlessly the president for wearing his mask indoors, sometimes wearing it outdoors, are now the ones attacking him in this moment in the restaurant with Dr. Joe Biden. You would have thought he was on a date with Satan and not with the First Lady with regards to the grief that he's gotten in the last 48 hours with regards to this. But as the press secretary said, it loses sight of the greater conversation that we need to have about vaccines in this country, and that we need to keep our eyes on the prize when it comes to getting every American who's eligible in consultation with their doctors to get that vaccine. It's not just for their own edification, but it's also for protecting all of us, protecting folks like Colin Powell, who likely succumbed to COVID from experiencing it from an unvaccinated person in this country. We don't know the details of that, but that's likely where the science is.
I think we have to be careful.
He was absolutely
but
vaccinated,
I do think we
but
need
he
to be
also had
careful
all those
because
pre-existing conditions.
He did,
for sure.
and we talked earlier tonight about the blood cancer that he was battling was probably
Sure.
the complication
but
for
the
him.
likelihood,
But I do
the
think we need to
likelihood
be
that he
careful.
encountered
Right, but we got to
someone
be careful
unvaccinated
that
is high.
there are people who are vaccinated who have it and are spreading it as well. So just to be fair,
Sure.
we can't say that it was an unvaccinated
Absolutely.
person who made him sick.
But
Anyway,
those people are dying at 11 times
Yes.
the level, which is
Yeah.
just sad in this country, and everyone needs to get vaccinated.
Okay, Kevin and Gianno, always good to see you. We have much more to discuss, so come back.
Thanks, Shannon.
All right, the